TNT's Monster Vision will return in a moment. It's no steel cage match for Godzilla as Godzilla vs. Mothra return.
Welcome to the Last Video Store. I'm your host, Bud Haddonfield, and today is the second episode of our Godzilla-thon. I had a lot of fun with the first episode, not too much in the editing process because Toho, the company who owns the Godzilla's rights, really fucked me when it came to copyright. So I had to take out a lot of my videos and musics and images and all kinds of other stuff. So what was uploaded last week was the final project. I had a much longer video, but I'm splitting hairs here. Thanksgiving's almost here, and with the Thanksgiving episode, we're going to be doing King Kong versus Godzilla. But this week here, we're going to be focusing on the second film that came out in 1955, which is Godzilla Raids Again. So this one, I'm only going to have a couple clips in here and maybe some images and whatnot because I don't feel like getting another copyright strike against me. I don't do the monetary ordeal on my videos just because I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it for my love of horror movies. And if I have any chance of introducing something new to any of you out there, that's my mission succeeded. So Godzilla Raids Again. It was the start of something new in the Godzilla series because in the very first one, he was a standalone that just destroyed the city of Tokyo and just killed people and whatnot. This one, he actually fights another creature, and this one's also like a dinosauric animal itself called Anguirus, which is, he looks just like a dinosaur. And the whole premise of this movie is one pilot saves his buddy. I think he crashes like on an island, and as they're talking, they see the two monsters fighting, and that's pretty much the whole thing of the movie is slowly Godzilla versus Anguirus, and the military stepping in because in the first one they shot bullets and bombs and all kind of stuff at him, and they do it again, but I guess they didn't remember that the bullets didn't work in the very first film. So they really didn't talk about how Godzilla came back from the first one because we saw at the end of that one, the oxygen destroyer took him out and he was just bones left in the ocean. Some people say he went into hibernation and he pretty much came back, he regenerated. Other people said he's just a completely different creature. And if he is, where was Anguirus? Is it something that he was just on this deserted island surviving this whole time? Some of that proportion had to have something big to eat. So maybe there's a bunch of Anguiruses out there. So in the first King Kong film, you have King Kong fighting other dinosaurs. I think a giant snake, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So this is not the first movie that we get monsters fighting each other, but this is the first one that we get of Godzilla fighting. And we have all kinds of other creatures to come, and they're awesome. We have Rodan, we have Mothra, we have King Ghidorah, which is a three-headed thing. I absolutely love that character. We have Biollante, which is really cool. That comes from 1989's Godzilla vs. Biollante. And yeah, just a lot of animalistic monster battles of men in rubber suits, but it's a good time because it's Godzilla. And anytime Godzilla's involved, it's a fun time. So I'm rambling, long-winded, talking about a lot of things. But this movie is exactly how I said it is. We have two creatures fighting against each other, and the citizens have to work on how to take them out, and we get some really cool battles, so check them out. I know it kind of looks really cheesy, but I had a lot of fun with it. Just these fights are really cool. All the work that went into these miniatures, whether it was the buildings and whatnot, it's like a lot of hard work and dedication got put into making these movies, and I thought it was really cool. So at the end of this one, the way to take Godzilla out was pretty much ice falling on him and just putting him into an hibernatic sleep until we get to the third one. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much reviews of these movies because they're fun. I want to talk about them and give some things away to it. But if you haven't seen these movies before, check them out. Just because they're old don't mean they can't be new to you. So, watch them. And I think you will enjoy them if you can get around to it, because it's not for everybody. But if you really love cheesy, fun, old horror movies or science fiction movies with men in rubber suits pretending to be dinosaurs, this is the movie for you. So, Umbrella Entertainment sent me some really cool box sets I want to show off because I absolutely love all their products. They come from Australia. They're a little Australian company. So, it's pretty cool. The first one is Exploitation Rarities, Volume 2. They have a lot of cool movies on this one. Some that are kind of cheesy, but others that aren't too bad. These movies are really fun. You can find them on Amazon Prime, but if you get them through Umbrella, you get a whole lot of extras with them. It's just really cool. Like, look at this cool artwork. The first movie we get in it is Desolation Angels. I have not seen this one, but this one actually looks pretty cool. And I know it has to do something about these girls ditching school and they have to fight off a madman and whatnot. The second one is The 13th Floor. This was the one I had to have. It's currently streaming on Shudder, which I dug. It's kind of a boring movie, but I like them old cheesy classics. And then the third one is Coda. I haven't seen that one either, so I definitely got some movies to watch over the next couple of days. The second box set I have is definitely some movies I've seen, so you have to bear with me because it's a tight fit. I'm going to be struggling to get them some bitches out. And it is Tales from the Video Zone, the Demonic Toys and Doll Man box set. This is a really cool collection. It comes with all kind of like posters and arts cards, and it has like a little books and whatnot. Like I said, you can get the box sets on Amazon Prime, but you can only get like the posters through the Umbrella company itself. And these have some really cool slip cases, but it makes for a tighter fit. Squeeze really tight. Let's just unload them right there. So we get Doll Man, which if you haven't seen this movie, it is Tim Thomerson playing Brick Bardo, and he's like an inch-high cop from another planet, 13 inches tall. So we get the cool original artwork. I love all of Full Moon Features movies, especially the ones in like the late 80s, early 90s. That was always some fun times. And then we get Demonic Toys. I absolutely love this movie. I remember watching this in the mid-90s on a Christmas Eve. I went rented it at Blockbuster, and I fell in love with it instantly. And this was the box art that I seen at Blockbuster, so it was really cool. This is a fun movie. If you haven't seen this one, I definitely recommend it. I like these slip cases, but like I said, they make them a bit tight fit. Then we get the crossover, and it is Doll Man versus Demonic Toys. This one was a shorter film, I think like right over an hour. 60 minutes, so right at an hour. But it was still a fun movie. And this was the first time it actually got released in a Blu-ray format. And it is Demonic Toys 2. This one kind of sucked, but it was fun because I like the Demonic Toys series. I wish they would have included Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys, but I know they didn't do it. But it was cool to get a Blu-ray of that. So, yeah. Definitely some Australian box sets. His best work. William Butler directed this one. He was the second Ginger Dead Man, and he was also in Ghoulies 2. He was in the remake 1990s Night of the Living Dead. He was killed by Freddy Krueger in an episode of Freddy's Nightmares. He was killed by Jason Voorhees in New Blood, and then he was killed by Leatherface in the 1990 movie Leatherface. So, one more thing to show you.
Ah, you fat fuck! I'm baby Oopsie Daisy. You lard ass. Will you be my special friend?
So since the early 90s, I have been a huge Basket Case fan. I always thought the story of Belial and Dwayne and them getting split apart and their homicidal rage throughout the whole 3 movies was really cool. And I thought the look of Belial, especially in the first movie, was always unique. And I got a friend to do a 3D print, and I got my very own Belial. My wife painted it, so I just want to take a time out to just give some appreciation to her because it came out really good. She did a great job, and I think it's super cool. Thank you again for tuning in to The Last Video Store. I'm your host, Bud Haddonfield. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to see you later on this week with our Thanksgiving episode. It's going to be Godzilla versus King Kong, continuing with the Godzilla-thon series. It's long, it's drawn out. Toho really fucked me by not letting me put a bunch of clips in it. And I said Godzilla versus King Kong. This one is called King Kong versus Godzilla. It's the older one from the 60s, so tune in for that one. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Michael Myers are the heroes of my past. Now the media is dying. Chucky and the zombies now up in cemetery. So bring me back those. I wanna come back to those times when all movies were so scary. I